Mm. Oh, okay, we're back. Oh, and my camera's falling. Bombo clock. Um, so yesterday we went over what does porn do to the brain, We went over striatum, how it affects, your emotions, your dopamine levels. If you want to know how it affects your brain, just click on the last video I uploaded. But today we're going to be addressing how it affects you in relationships, So this is for all the fellas. If you are in a relationship and you feel like you're struggling with this, we're just gonna describe the symptoms. So number one, or you don't have to be in a relationship. This could be before or you're talking to someone, right? But number one, it sets unnatural standards for intimacy. So what do I mean by this? Well, porn it hyper exaggerates how intimacy actually is. So if you've ever watched it, it like looks like super like aggressive. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Right. And it's exciting. It's supposed to be exciting so you could get that dopamine rush, you know, and you could like just feel good, right? But the problem is that intimacy isn't actually like that. It's not like it doesn't like all the stuff that you've learned online, all the stuff that you've been conditioned or all the stuff that you've seen, it's not the real thing. So for one, it's that it sets like unnatural um it says unnatural I just said the word standards. There we go. It sets unnatural standards. It sets you up to think that, oh, it's this way, but in reality it's this way. And then when you actually get into the act, your brain is gonna be cucked. You're gonna fuck yourself because you're gonna be like, wait, I thought it was this way, but it's actually this way. It's like studying for a test that, it's the same concept, but it's different questions. Say your teacher gives you a packet, he's like, okay, this is the study packet. All the questions that are related to this topic are on here, right? You study, you study, you study, and then you get the actual test, and you're like, wait a minute, these two, it's the same subject, right? But you said all the questions that are on here were gonna be on here, but they're two same subject, but two different things, two different sets of questions, two different standards, you know. So that's one thing that pornography does when you're in a relationship and you want to get intimate with your partner. Another thing is it kind of like conditions you to get stimulated by yourself. So what do I mean stimulated? Well, let's say I'm trying to like find an analogy that isn't like, fuck analogies, Say you're beating your shit, right? And you've been doing it for about several years, you know. You get a girlfriend and y'all are about to get intimate. The only problem is, if you never stopped, even if you had the girlfriend, you kept like, masturbating and shit like that, you are actually gonna get stimulated by yourself more, by your own hand, more than your girl. And that's like really hard to think about. You're like, wait, what? Like, I can't even like, you know, I'm not like, you're attracted to your woman, obviously. That's why you're with her. But your brain, again, your brain is conditioned to be stimulated by yourself rather than a woman's body. Because porn is a conditioning. It conditions you to think away or to see away. It conditions you to think that, oh, sex is this way. Or it conditions you to be like, oh, okay, if I get this feeling, that I'm going to get wrecked. It conditions you, right? Another thing that porn does that when you're in a relationship, it conditions you. This is like one of the worst facts. One of the worst, right? It conditions you to get um it conditions you, I'm trying to find the word, to get excited by seeing other people in the act rather than you indulging in the act. So, what do I mean? Well, obviously, when you watch porn, or it could be, yeah, when you watch porn, right? It's obviously two people, right? Or unless you watch some other stuff, but it's usually two people and they're being intimate, right? And you, as the viewer, you are observing and you're watching, right? So you do this for a constant set of years. And, if you don't take a break or if you don't stop, then you're going to be conditioned to be like, oh, okay, this is regular, right? This is okay. So rather than you, like, when you get into the act of getting sexual, getting intimate, again, your brain will be like, wait a minute, this isn't right, because it's so used to like seeing it like from afar or seeing it on the screen rather than you actually being in the act. You could think of it as, we could use this sports analogy. So for example, you really enjoy watching basketball, right? Or you enjoy watching soccer. A small part of you is like, damn, I wish that was me. But you're like, I'm cool. I could just watch, You're watching, you're observing. And then when you get in the actual game, when you start to play, you're like, this isn't like the this isn't like on TV. This isn't like when I'm at my local park and I'm watching people play, this is like actually, this is different for me. Same thing of being intimate, having an intimate partner and watching pornography, right? It conditions you. Porn conditions you to think that your sex life should be this way when reality is this way. Now, don't get me wrong, if I'm not saying that being intimate isn't exciting. Of course it's exciting, but porn over exaggerates it, It's still exciting, but it's like that's a crazy standard for it. Insane, right? It doesn't make any sense, you know? And one more thing, right? Another thing that porn does, it gives you, well, this whole video we've been saying it conditions you, right? And it conditions you to be attracted to like a certain set of like women, So like say, you watch stuff with like women with like really unnatural body parts. Like they were abnormally big, or it wasn't normal. It wasn't normal. It didn't look real. And say you meet a girl and she's cool, you enjoy her what her time, her presence, and you like her, you actually like enjoy like being with her as a person, right? But she's not like the woman you'd want to sleep with, you know, that you've seen in the fucking videos, She's not like that. She's just normal, you know? So when you do get intimate, your brain is gonna be like, oh, this isn't like the people we've seen. This isn't like the stuff like I've watched, I'm not gonna, no, I'm good. So you're just gonna be like sitting there. You're gonna be like, um, you know, you're not gonna be as attracted to her intimately you know, rather than like, oh, you like her as a person all around, you're attracted to her. But I wanted to go back into that. It's not necessarily that you won't be attracted to her intimately, but that your brain, right, is so used to seeing all these other women, or what? My alarm randomly went off on my other phone. Your brain will be used to will be used to the women with like the unnatural body parts and like stuff like that. And it's not that you're not attracted to your new partner who doesn't have all that stuff, but you condition yourself to be attracted to that, you know? It's all conditioning. It's not that, oh, I don't find her attractive, I want to sleep with her. Of course you want to sleep with your partner, you know, it's a thing of love. But, you know, you just like cucked yourself, you rewired your brain to be attracted to these like unrealistic women rather than what an actual woman is, you know? Because porn, it over exaggerates everything. You know, it has all the stuff that you want rather than like actually like human beings. You know, like this is how like an actual human being is. This is how they're crafted. This is how they look. You know, we're gonna have imperfections rather than porn. It's like, oh, everything's perfect. Oh, she has a fat ass, or you know. So yeah, I wanted to change that point a little because I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, if your partner doesn't have a fucking BBW, then you can't sleep with her. No, it's not that. You know, it's just that you kind of rewire your brain to be like this, you know, be attracted to them rather than like a normal woman, you know. So yeah, you know. But it's all your brain, you know. A lot of people say that when you watch porn and you've done it for so long that it like messes up your mind. And it kind of does. But that doesn't mean that you can't escape it. That doesn't mean that you can't break it. That doesn't mean that you can't rewire your brain, rework your brain. That doesn't mean that you could get away from it and like your brain will stay the same forever. No, it doesn't mean that. You know, I have a community, school community down in the description below. And, you know, if you want to have a loving relationship to where you don't feel like you're gonna have any of these things disturb or break your relationship with a potential partner or your partner now, you know, you feel like these are causing problems in your relationship, or you feel like, oh, I don't want to have these problems when I get with someone, you know, I don't want to feel this way, or I don't want to be like conditioned this way when I get with someone, you know. By all means, please join the school community. Please join the school community. Um, it's a space where everybody can be open, and it's a space where everybody could be themselves, you know. A lot of people feel shame about being addicted to pornography. You know, I was there at one point. I felt shameful. I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody about it. But, you know, it's a space where everybody could be open. Everybody could talk to each other, and everybody could discuss, you know, how it happened to them, you know, and how we could escape this. You know, we can defeat this enemy that we have on modern day men, you know. So by all means, please join the school community, man. I'm here to help y'all, and we're here to defeat this enemy, and here to just have our lives back, you know, have good relationships, have good friendships, good social lives, and just be free from these chains of just chains of addiction, man. So yeah, school community in description below. Hope y'all have a nice day, and I'll see y'all later.